Hi, I'm Catherine Devlin, and I'm here to convince you that SQL can be your friend with proper adult supervision from Python. So you're writing some awesome Python, and you need to use a database. You find advice to use an object relational mapper, or ORM, largely because it will protect you from having to learn and write SQL. So now all you need to do is learn to use the ORM. SQL Alchemy is a great library, but there's a lot to learn there, and you won't be able to stop there because there are other ORMs in use, like Django's, each with its own API to learn. You have to study a lot to avoid learning SQL. And here's the ironic part. You already know SQL. Admit it, you've probably learned it accidentally, by casual exposure alone. Because SQL isn't the most modern or elegant language, but it is well-known, well-supported, well-documented, and readable. In fact, you've probably web-searched questions like, what's the ORM equivalent of this SQL command, which suggests that your effort to avoid effort by avoiding learning SQL has failed. So why not just write SQL? Well, you might say, I don't want to make my beautiful Python programs into an ungodly Frankenstein's monster mishmash of Python and SQL, and you're right, that could turn pretty ugly. So please have a look at PugSQL. This small library lets you include SQL files into your Python project in a tidy, well-organized way. Then use them cleanly from your Python, sending data in and getting it out in an orderly fashion. It lets each language do what it does best without stepping on one another's toes. Your next challenge is data schema migrations. Sometimes you need to change the structure of your database, and you want to do that in an organized fashion, not with ad hoc commands. SQL Alchemy has a solution for this, an associated library called Alembic. More to learn. Django's ORM has, you guessed it, a different solution. And so once again, you're facing learning multiple libraries approaches to a problem that is already solved perfectly well by SQL itself. So why aren't you just using SQL DDL for your migrations? Well, once again, you would need to keep those SQL statements well organized and run them in a clear and well-defined manner. And that's what Agnostic is for. It's a tool, written in Python but usable anywhere, that very simply lets you define migrations in SQL files. The tool takes care of keeping your migration files and your database in sync. And now it's transformation time, because data rarely arrives in the form you need it. You could transform with plain Python inside a loop, or you could use advanced libraries like pandas, NumPy, and related libraries. These are great packages, but again, there are a lot more for you to learn. I have a suggestion. SQL is great for transforming data. And once again, there's a Python project, dbt, to use SQL for transformations in a clear and well-organized fashion. dbt lets you define each step in a series of transformations, each is an SQL file. Then it takes care of running those transformations in order. It even lets you define unit tests for the SQL queries. So please look at some of the ways that these Python tools can take away the reasons you have to be scared of SQL. With Python's help, SQL can be a part of your solutions that you can be proud of. Thank you.